Testing 1, 2, 3. Alright, I just bought a video camera and I figured that I should test it out and show off my new beard and talk a little bit about what God has done in my life over the last year. I've been through a lot, and I think you'll be encouraged by some of what God has done in my life. So I'll try to keep this short-ish. About 10 years ago, I started getting sick. It began with digestion issues, pain, and just a lot of unpleasantness, and it became exhaustion, and no matter how much I slept, I was always tired, lightheadedness. I had a hard time concentrating, and I just started feeling unwell, and this got worse over the years into my early 20s. And then I started experimenting with different foods, different diets, and began going to doctors and specialists and naturopaths and alternative health practitioners, and started looking online, figuring out what I could do at home. So I began these different therapies at my house, and my life just became this obsession with getting well. So I'd go to work, and then I'd come home and I'd be cooking stuff and preparing different remedies and doing these therapies on myself, and that was my life for a few years. Along the way, I got so wrapped up in this stuff and so wrapped up in certain philosophies that almost without even realizing it, I came to the understanding one day that I had pretty much lost my belief in the God of the Bible. I believed that there was some spiritual something out there, but I had a hard time reconciling what I come to believe with what I read in the pages of the scriptures. And then one night, I had this dream where it was quite vivid. I still remember this voice said, "Beware, you are walking the road that leads to death." And I woke up right at that moment, and I was freaked out. My heart was racing, I was sweating, and I said, "God, if this was you, can you put me back into this dream?" So I fell back asleep. I was right back in the dream, woke up again, freaked out, same thing, "God, can you put me back in the dream if this is you?" And he did, so back into the dream a third time. Soon after that, I remember just going down on my knees and crying out to God. I didn't know if he was real, but I wanted him to, and wanted him to be. And I said, "If you are real, you need to reveal yourself to me. You need to show me that you are real." And this really became my cry for quite a while. "God, you need to reveal yourself to me." And I started to seek him again, seek a relationship with him. And the time came, this would have been last October, I think, when I finally realized that I believed in him again, that I believed in the God of the Bible, and it was this really cool time for me. But around that time, I started having these interesting experiences. I started getting the sense that I needed to get rid of all of my supplements and all of my equipment that I'd used to get well. Actually, I felt a lot better than I had before I was using these things. I still didn't feel well, but I felt better. And so that was a little bit freaky for me, but I really did believe that God wanted me to get rid of that stuff, so I started throwing it out. A few $1,000s worth of stuff. A lot of stuff. And then what's more, around that time I started getting attacked demonically. I would be in bed at night and suddenly it would feel like I was tied up and I couldn't breathe. Or I'd be walking along and it would feel like something hit me, and there'd be waves of fear and nausea that would run through my body, and just crazy stuff. I won't share all of it. It would freak you out. And also at that time I actually started getting sicker, started feeling worse. So I remember being on my couch one night just crying out to God, and suddenly it felt like there was a wind blowing in the room. Reminded me a little bit of Pentecost and the apostles in the upper room. And I looked around, the doors and the windows were shut. But yeah, I felt this wind on my skin, and at the same time I suddenly felt this confidence and this peace and this joy that I hadn't felt in a long time. and I opened the Bible and really started declaring God's word. And then just after that, I began to pray. And it felt like someone took an electric cord and plugged it into my side. And electricity just started flowing through my digestive system. And it was really intense and kind of freaky at the moment. I wasn't certain if this was another demonic attack or what. But this lasted about 3 minutes, and a few days later I decided to go to Subway and test out if I had been healed or not. So I bought a foot-long sub. And if you weren't aware, I was one of those people that was allergic to all sorts of things, right? So gluten, dairy, sugar. I was a vegan as well, so pretty much everything, almost everything in that sub I hadn't been able to eat before. And so I ate this thing, and I felt great. So God just, He healed me that night, and what's more, he really did a work in my heart, and ever since that time He's been really changing me and transforming me. And along the way I got really interested in the healing power of God, and since he really transformed my life through healing me, I wanted to know if He could do this in the lives of those around me. So I really started to research, and I went to conferences and seminars, and I began to practice what I've been learning on the streets, and people started getting healed. I have a lot of really cool testimonies: broken bones healed, like a cyst that dissolved, knees, arms, shoulders, backs healed, gallstones, celiac disease, another digestive disorder. Just the list goes on. It's been pretty cool what God has done through me, and I've seen people give their lives to Jesus on account of some of these things. So I'm really excited about what God is doing and what He's going to do through me and in me. And I'd love to talk to anyone out there that has questions, or if there's someone that wants me to pray for them, I'd also be interested in that. I believe that God is healer, that it is in His nature, Jehovah Rapha, our healer, and He's into healing the mind, the body, and the soul, about restoring us. Jesus said that the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy, but I have come that you might have life and live it to the full. So if you have questions, please chat with me. I'd love to, and I think that's about all. I'm going to be posting some more videos, testimonies of other people that have been healed, and hopefully going out in the street and shooting some videos as well. So I'm excited about what God's going to do, and just bless you guys. And this is Steve Calloway signing off.